G'day viewers and Happy New Year to you. Cheers. Now as we look at this year, whether it's already New Year's for you or it's approaching when you watch this, or maybe you see this sometime during the year. The world's funny like that. I just want to say, when we get to New Year's, people often talk about resolutions. I'm not really a New Year's resolution type of bloke. The arbitrariness of it bothers me a bit. Like, if you want to do something better that you haven't been doing, or stop doing something bad, you can choose to do that anytime. But if we're talking about things we'd like to see in 2019, what I'd like to see, what I think we should strive to in 2019, let's ban bad language, particularly from online discourse that's rife with bad language. Now I probably should qualify and explain a little bit. When I say bad language, I don't mean swearing. I think swearing is fucking awesome. Swearing is great language. Swearing has existed throughout the ages and will continue to exist throughout the ages, despite what silly people say. Swearing's just expressive. An appropriately placed swear just gives emphasis that nothing else will. So when I say let's get rid of bad language, I don't mean let's get rid of swearing. I mean let's get rid of lazy language. Let's get rid of language that says nothing. Let's get rid of language that pretends to have meaning while it actually has no meaning. Now, for politicians, that probably means stop talking. Just shut the fuck up. Stop talking. We're sick of your weasel words. We're sick of your lies. Just cut us a break and stop. But for other people generally, look, I'll cite some examples. And I think the sort of bad language that really bugs me, while some crosses boundaries, there's some that's more common on people who are on the right, and there's some that's more common on people who are on the left. Now, on the right, for me, it's pretty straightforward. Stop saying fake news. Anybody who says fake news unironically is automatically written off by any sentient being as an absolute moron. Like, seriously, if you want people who've never met you before to think you're an utter moron, incapable of rational thought, just declare something that comes from an established media outlet to be fake news. Not saying, by the way, the media are flawless and are absolutely scrupulous in their truthfulness. I'm just saying, if you reflexively say fake news, people automatically assume you're an utter moron. And you know who I put at the top of that list? Donald Trump. It's his bullshit line, but I honestly believe when he sees people respond to straightforward, legitimate reporting of news as fake news, when he sees people repeating the bullshit he says, he thinks you're a bigger dickhead than I do, okay? He is laughing at how stupid you are and how gullible you are to fall for such a basic propaganda trick and to just regurgitate it verbatim. He's the one who really thinks you're a chump, so wise up, stop saying it. Another thing people on the right can stop saying is, oh, are you triggered? Or I'm doing this to own the libs. It's like, no, you know what? When you do your ridiculous, racist, misogynist, homophobic, transphobic, bigoted bullshit, people aren't triggered. They just think you're a piece of shit. And 99 times out of 100, when somebody declares themselves to be the one who's, oh, I'm triggering the libs, people are just embarrassed. They're just looking at you and going, oh, really? For you, the highlight of your life is if someone else thought you were vile, objectionable garbage? That would be an achievement for you? You see, that isn't an achievement. Constructing a well thought out and supported argument to support your point of view, that's something. Being an obnoxious piece of shit, that is a failure. That is the most basic failure of a human being. So when you're being an obnoxious piece of shit and going, I'm doing it to trigger the snowflakes, you aren't triggering anything. You aren't triggering anyone. People are just going, oh my God, what a piece of garbage. Lift your fucking game. Now, let's not let the left, the progressives, get away with their bullshit either. And here's one that I am so sick of, and this is particularly done on Twitter. Repeating the same line 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times as if that makes the point more pertinent. Going, oh, children are being taken from their parents. Children are being taken from their parents. Saying it 10 times doesn't make it any more meaningful. Putting it together with a practical action plan people can do, how someone can support the people who are being oppressed and marginalised, that's something. Repeating the same line 10 times doesn't provide emphasis. It's simply repetitive and boring. And it's really dumb that you think that makes you look smarter. It's really pathetic that you think that makes you look more insightful. Stop doing it. And another one, this is not necessarily exclusive to the left, but I see it most often from people on the left, making a point and following it up with, let that sink in. Like, there've been more gun deaths in the last year than there were casualties in the Vietnam War. Let that sink in. The addition adds nothing, okay? People are capable of thinking. Well, some people aren't capable of thinking, but tacking on let that sink in is not going to change someone's cognitive ability. That does not make you seem smarter. Adding let that sink in actually makes you sound like a condescending prat. It's really fucking annoying. It's really old. You need to stop doing it, okay? So let's stop with bad language. Let's stop with saying something that doesn't say anything. There's a lot of tone policing in the world. People saying, you shouldn't be so angry. You shouldn't be that aggressive when you say something. Hey, if something's making you angry, speak up. The people who say being angry is wrong are usually the people doing something you have every right to be angry about. But when you're going to say something, make it mean something. Don't use platitudes. Don't use pathetic, regurgitated talking points. If you've got nothing to say, shut the fuck up.